Good morning. My director on the other side of my monitor said energy. Hope everybody's having a great morning. I was having some technical difficulties this morning. Good morning, Todd. How are you? Good. Because she's over there doing her hands like this, energy. Good morning, Glenn. Good morning, Bumcrack. Good morning, Diana. Diane. Sorry. Uh, is there a commercial? There's not supposed to be commercials. There's not supposed to be. Good morning, everybody. Really? I'm not monetized though. Well, that stinks. Oh, Lord. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us this morning. Lag, I hit the live go live button, but it was wanting to record and causing me issues, and I don't know why it's doing that. They pushed another update, so uh, I hope everybody has had a great morning. And anyway, so what's up with you this morning, Todd? Anything exciting? Uh, yeah. Okay.
Nobody heard it.
Start it all over again. My bad.
Oh
I'm gonna
my
need a
God.
technical assistance this morning. Sorry,
All
Todd.
right, starting over. So things are exciting. Bumcrack Picker's a witness here. You know Valerie, the gal that started the morning show about 7 years ago, and then we kind of took over.
Yeah.
We ousted her. Anyway, yesterday a bunch of us got together in a working listing hangout. Carol was there and Bumcrack was there and couple of others. Anyway, I made a bet with Valerie. So the bet goes like this. Yesterday I listed an item that I found on my death pile. It's a video game,
Right.
and I listed it for $100. I didn't realize that was in my death pile. I just got $100 items sitting around my death pile. So later on during the hangout, I got an offer of $50 for the game. And Valerie said, "Take it, take it, take it. Are you kidding? It was just sitting in your death pile. What are you thinking? Take it." So I sent the buyer a counter offer and the buyer declined. She said, "You should have taken it." I said, "I bet you that I can sell it before the end of a full 24-hour day gets over with." She said, "I don't have any money to bet with, but how about this? How about if you don't sell it, then on your show Friday, you have to say I'm the greatest reseller in the world 10 times just randomly." I said, "Well, what do I get if I win?" She said, "I will come on your Friday morning show if you win." I said, "Deal." So we shook on it. And then she wanted to change the rules. She said, "Now you can't sell it for less than $50. I said, "Okay, I'm down with that." No, first she said, "You have to sell the game for full asking price, $100 within a day." And I was like, "Now, that wasn't the deal." She said, "Okay, you can't sell it for less than $50. So, um, I will do the reveal on tomorrow's show."
So do we expect her tomorrow?
Well, I don't know. I'll tell you this. I did get another offer. So it's going to be an interesting time tomorrow on my show, whether I win or Valerie wins the bet. Or more interesting than usual, I'll put it that way. I don't know that it will be interesting. Lag says, "Send me the link, I'll buy it." You want to see the item, everybody? I don't mind showing it.
What game is it?
It's called Def Jam something. I don't know how to share on this.
Well, just hold it up to the camera. Or are you going to show the listing
Oh, yeah, I can just hold it up to the camera.
if you got it handy?
Yeah, it's not too unhandy. Just a sec.
As we hear a bunch of stuff falling to the floor in there,
Yeah.
where his pile has collapsed.
So it's just a game disc only. It doesn't have the manual or the original case or anything. Def Jam, Fight for New York. It's a GameCube game.
Oh, okay. I was like, dang, that's a small CD.
It is. GameCube games are. You want her on the show? Lag, you would send me a $15 offer. I know you. You can look it up on on eBay if you want. There aren't very many listings for the game. I guess it's kind of
The
not.
GameCube. The GameCube was the predecessor to the Xbox.
Um,
I don't know.
I don't think so. GameCube is Sega,
Oh, okay.
and Xbox is
Xbox is Microsoft.
Microsoft,
Yeah. Um.
and PlayStation and Wii is Nintendo.
Yeah, we need to have. I guess we're going to have to do it in the. I don't know when, but we're going to have to try to get everybody that used to be on Valerie's show all together at one time. You know, A family reunion.
Texas Bandit, I don't know of any shows that are just dedicated to just listing. I mean, you can do listings during any of the shows, just have them playing in the background. And you just listen and comment every once in a while.
The So you haven't got any more offers on it?
I did get a new offer.
Oh, okay. I was reading back through the chat and I kind of got sidetracked. Lord have mercy.
Well, let me get a vote in the side panel here. If the offer is more than $50, do you want Valerie to win and me lose? No, wait. Let's just do this. Vote in the side chat. Who would like to see Valerie on the show tomorrow, or me having to say Valerie is the greatest reseller of all time 10 times during my show tomorrow? We win either way. You do.
Yeah, you're not looking at me or Todd or Scott.
Todd's store name is 1957 Old Santa.
I got a
I think I
question.
won.
I need to run grab something. I'll be right back. Talk to him, Todd.
So nobody wants to vote? Okay. That's fine. Diane, it looks like you're voting for me to win and see Valerie on tomorrow's show. You think I already won, Cindy? Anissa, sorry I confused you.
Yeah, I've been trying to get her to come on here, but she's just, she's a superstar. She can't slum it on my show.
I kind of respect her laying off the show after all those years.
Yeah. Okay, here's my question. A reseller question, believe it or not.
Yeah, GameCube, Anissa.
Can you see that?
Polo Ralph Lauren Pony. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's a bag. I don't know whether they came from stores or what the deal is. How would you ship something like that? How would y'all ship something like this? It's 12 by 16.
Marco. Polo. Oh. You slap it between two pieces of cardboard and stick it in a big poly bag.
That's what I was thinking. Because I don't want to roll it up or anything like that.
Can you fold it?
Well, it's got a fold in it already, but I don't know whether I want to fold it again.
Is it longer than 20 inches?
No.
Then
it's 16 inches.
You won't get the surcharge from USPS if it's not over 20. Or just take if you want to send it priority, you can just put it in a free priority box without here, let me just show you what I'm trying to say. Let me get a box. But it's not, it probably shipped first class. It can't weigh very much.
It don't weigh much of anything.
Yeah, it's probably best to put it between two pieces of cardboard. But what I was thinking, if you're going to ship it priority,
Yeah.
you could take, like, I got a picture here that I've sold. So I could ship this picture by just putting the picture inside the box like that,
Right.
and then putting a piece of tape over the ends of the box, and boom, you're good to go.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
Or just get two plain old pieces of cardboard if you're not going to ship it priority, and
I
tape it closed, and
here's what I thought about doing, and I'm sure I'm going to catch hell for this, but I thought about wrapping it in like plastic wrap, and then put them between two sheets of cardboard, and then taping up the edges really well and slapping a label on it.
yeah, what's wrong with that?
Well, I just want y'all's.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, Diane, I sent mine off to my accountant, and I have to pay every year, so taxes, yay.
Because yeah, Anissa was asking about her, saying she don't like doing taxes. Well, she's got so many damn kids, she shouldn't be paying any money. She's still got two tax deductions at home.
Yeah, but if you've got eBay income and you're not sending them a quarterly tax payment, then you're probably going to have to pay.
Because if it keeps on, everybody will be filing short form. Because it would take, with all of our major medical expenses we had, we still did not have enough to itemize medical expenses. And I mean, it's just a bitch. But
Really?
anyway, thank you for the advice on the packing this thing because I got about
Oh,
50
yeah,
of them, I think,
because you didn't have your heart thing until this year.
this year.
Yeah, we had a lot of medical, but they give you a pretty good sized chunk of, you have to get above a certain amount of your income before you can declare medical. Man, it's a significant part of your income if you're able to claim a lot of medical on your income tax.
Right. Um, what does it seem like? And this, didn't you put a bunch of braces on teeth this year?
I don't know if braces count as medical. Do they?
I dental.
Maybe. It's
I
still
mean,
in my tax bracket. I would probably have to come up with $20,000 of medical bills not paid for by taxes, by insurance, before I could take some deductions off of medical. And we had thousands of dollars. Gwen had a heart monitor installed in her chest, and she had uh, she had her esophagus expanded, whatever you call it. several procedures that were.
That stuff racks up after a while.
Yeah, that costs a lot of money if you're not a border jumper. That's right.
What? We're just going to ignore that and just go on along.
Yep.
Anissa, really?
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
you're a sorry show host. Sadie's been in the background for a long time.
Well, if you had a picture,
Degenerate.
degenerate. Yeah. Good morning, Mr. Sadie.
Morning, good morning. What's up? What's up? Yes,
Uh,
is it Friday yet? Is it Friday yet? Is it Friday yet? No, it's only Thursday.
oh,
Help
it's only Thursday.
bar! It's help bar up in here now. We got Sadie.
Flag
How
said
are
he
you?
wants to link to the show so he can buy Todd's game. I think that's what he meant.
He just needs to go on. He needs to go on to the his on this eBay store and buy that thing.
There you go. All you got to do is look it up. Def Jam. Fight for New York. Fight for NY.
Is that a what is that? Is that a wrestling?
Might not be
Uh,
for sale anymore, or is it?
I think it's like Escape from New York. It's
Uh,
just a dystopian future battle thing. First person
Fight for New York.
shooter game or something. I
Hey,
think. I don't
Texas
know.
Bandit and Leg and JT and everyone. Good morning.
It's a street brawlers game. It must be like the Asian ones that used to play that Roberta was so good at. What was that thing called, honey?
um,
Street Fighter.
yeah.
We would go out. Here's Uncle Tom's story for the day. We would go out to the. We'd go out to lunch or dinner with our friends Chris and Sandy, and then we'd go out to the mall and walk around. And we'd always end up in the game room, and then Sandy and I would interrupt standing around while Chris and Roberta played Street Fighter. But then Roberta would end up having to play. She was good, and she would end up having to play all these teeny boppers that put their quarter up on the daggum machine so that they could play next.
Oh,
So we would stand there for an
yeah.
hour waiting for Roberta to lose or for her to say, "Okay, I'm done."
I remember how that worked.
I don't even know how much. What does it cost $1 to play those kind of machines now?
I don't know. I haven't played an arcade video game in, oh God, 40 years.
I hear you. It's been at least over 27 because that Sergey will be 26 this year, and I don't remember playing arcade machines. And I don't consider slot poker machines at a casino uh, arcade games. So what are you up to this morning, Larry?
I got a list a mile long. I'm procrastinating.
Are you? How's the weather out there?
Uh, it's not terrible. I think it's in the 50s.
Well, that's
We
good.
got rain coming. They say. I don't know.
Yeah, we had rain yesterday. I think Scott had rain yesterday.
Yeah, I think it's making its way around the country.
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to send these the developers of this of Eevee mugs. I got to send them a message saying, "How about put a doorbell?" So when somebody enters the backstage, at least I get a ding dong.
What's for 89,000, Sandy? One of those arcade games? Hmm.
Jeez.
Yeah. Money laundering.
Right, right.
Those stand-up arcade games are collectible, and if you got room in your man cave, but I don't think $89,000 get a game like mine. Oh, graded. Def Jam 5 for New York. I couldn't believe it. That was just sitting in my death pile over there. I've had this game for 3 years. Listed it for $100. I've had two
What system is
offers.
that for?
Huh?
Is that N64? Is that N64 or what is that?
GameCube.
No, GameCube. I
Nintendo
don't know the difference.
GameCube.
Okay, okay.
GameCube. So, anyway, it's pretty cool finding a. I found another one that I already sold for $25 or $28. So I just got crap sitting in my death pile. I need to go through and find it all and list it.
Dang, two littlest pet shops for $650. Jeez.
Yeah, there's some games out there that go for big
I
money.
always I always see Kevin, Commonwealth Pickard go to yard sales and he buys these bags of toys and he buys all these boxes of toys. Do you know how much stuff I would have in my house if I ran my resale business? I mean, he's way organized. I'm not knocking it. You know what I mean? He does it great, but there is no way I could buy like that. I would have nothing but a cluster.
Well, he does it for a living, so he has the time
Yeah,
to
that's
burn.
right. Yeah, he does a fine job. I mean, he's well organized.
Yeah. Good morning, John. It's a yeah. You got to stay up on top of it, and I don't. Did y'all see what Fish posted up here about spending $300 in groceries and 6 bags? Dude, what did you do? Buy filet mignons and stuff like that? But he said that the person in front of him spent $130 on soda with an EBT card and then got into a Tesla. Um,
Yeah, that's about right.
I was in Walmart. It's been a couple of years back, and I was standing in line, and there was a lady in the front that had, I mean, she had a buggy full of stuff, and she finished scanning everything, and then she handed her EBT card to the checkout counter, a checkout, and she said, "Sweetie, you can't pay for it." And she pulled out some wine and some beer. She says, "You know you can't pay for those with an EBT card." So she, scanned those back out, and then she paid with the EBT card, and then the girl pulled out a wad of money and paid for the beer and wine. Well, there was an elderly African American man standing between me and her, and he said, "What was that card What is that EBT card she used?" And she said, "Well, that's state money." And he says, "Well, where do you get those EBT cards from? I want one of those." He said, "I can eat really good with an EBT card." And he turned and looked at me, and he was minding my own business, keeping my mouth shut. And he said, "Wouldn't you like to have an EBT card? Did we go over to customer service and get one of those?" And he went on and on and on. And that lady who was paying for her groceries with the EBT card, she looked at him and she said, "Oh man, you just need to shut up." And he said, "Well, if you can get it and you have all that money to buy beer and wine," he says, "I can afford to buy beer and wine if I wasn't buying my wife some food to eat." I thought we was going to have a
Right.
fight right there. The lady who was a front end manager happened to know the old man, and she said, "Charles, just shut up. We have to call the police in here." But he was giving her hell about that, uh, spending that money, using EBT to buy groceries, and then all this wad of money she's using to pay buy her beer and wine with. But it was a hoot. And the lady that was checking us out, she's an older lady, and she was just, you could look on her face, and she didn't know where this was going. Was she getting ready to hit the little red button up under her counter or not?
Call security.
Yeah, you're right, J2. It used to be a little bit on the embarrassing side, when you had to go that route. Some people had to, but you wasn't proud of it back in the day,
Yep.
Preach it, brother.
When I was doing merchandising, I was in a Family Dollar. I don't know if y'all have Family Dollars where you're at. They're like a Dollar General, only they're local based, or they used to be local based here in Charlotte. And these girls start talking about they were going to an EBT party this weekend, and I didn't know what she was talking about, and I said, "What is that?" And she said, "You don't know what EBT is?" And I said, "I have no idea." And she said, "Well, that's when you get your money for your groceries on a card, and then you just use the card to buy your groceries." So somebody was apparently having a steak EBT party, and they were charging $10 a person to come eat. So they were converting their EBT money into cash flow.
Oh, it's a whole racket. People selling them cards for 50 or 75 cents on the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, at
I
one
heard of.
time, at one time they were talking. Junk Trader said when she worked in a store, here, read it. Now it's probably 75 people. Um,
Yeah,
they were talking
I
about
heard.
having to have you had to have ID with you to use your EBT, your food stamps, whatever. And that was shot down because sometimes people are old and can't get to the grocery store, so they have to send their checks, send their EBT card with somebody else to do their groceries and whatnot. And yeah, that's a valid point, but how often is that the case?
Yeah, you should have to show ID or something, or or put more than one person on the card at the time if you're disabled or something.
Right.
Something that protects against.
You should have to do that to vote, too.
But that's
Then they just go to the store with you. They'd find a way around it. I mean,
yeah.
people people will work hard at trying not to work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Speaking my language.
The people
I
that
saw a
really
stat.
the people that really need it, even for just a couple of weeks can't get it because they don't
Right, right,
qualify.
right. Exactly.
Or the
I
government says
saw.
they don't qualify.
Yeah, I saw a stat the other day. Like 11% of the country is considered at the poverty level. And the way I look at that is, you come into this world in this country with a 90% chance success rate. All you got to do is put forth a little bit of effort.
Yep, finish high school. Don't get into drugs.
Yeah, people just have to grow up and do what's best for them.
Why are we doing this? You need to get off this topic.
But
My brother called me one time from prison, and he said, "Big brother," he says, "I really need some big brother advice right now." He says, "I'm tired of living this way." He says, "What do I got to do to straighten up?" I said it's real simple. Stop breaking the damn law. I said that's it. Just don't break the law. You can be a shit bum if you want to.
It's a good thing he didn't sue you for degrading him
I mean,
and you know, whatever else you know you want to say, but you know you made him feel bad. You hurt his feelings. He's going to sue you. Now you got to keep him up.
well, I mean, he's done good the last 10 years. He's really changed himself around. But back in the day, I mean, and everybody makes mistakes and pays for their sins sometimes they don't. But life isn't that hard to figure out. You just do what you got to do. I mean, the rest of the country's getting up and going to work, and you're sitting there and something's wrong.
Yeah, you know, and there was a case where you know people got all the extra money during
COVID.
the COVID, as we say in the South, the COVID. um, you know, they were getting all that extra money. They were making more money than they did before the epidemic, and they still weren't paying their rent and whatnot. And that stuff's come back to hit them with the local judge here in Charlotte. He was back when they started doing all the foreclosures and the evictions. You know, they were wanting paperwork. Why did you not?
Right,
Why did you not pay your rent? You know, did you? You know, you're making 2,400. One person was making 2,400 more a month off that extra 600. Why weren't you paying your rent during that week? Anyway, he was
right.
scamming the hell out of people.
Well, I seen one of them, them shows where they go on the streets and ask people about different things. It might be political or whatever, but it was right around that time, and everybody was getting like, what was it, 1,400 and plus another 6 or 800 per kid or something. It was
Right?
some people were getting 6 grand out of this deal. And one lady, they said that asked one lady, what are you doing with the money? She said, I'm going on a damn cruise. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, buying new TVs.
Right, right. Then they asked another guy, and I think one out of like 8 people answered, I'm going to take 1,000, I'm going to put it in savings, I'm going to take 1,000 and pay bills, and I'm going to take a few hundred and do something fun.
I was watching a video, and this guy has like 50 and 2 bedroom apartments, and everything is written. I mean, it's going through Section 8, and he doesn't care whether they get. He wants the extra little bit of money they're supposed to pay, of course, because it's due to him. But he said, "I'm not losing any sleep. 80% of their bill is paid by the U.S. government every month, and like by the 5th of the month, I've been paid my $350. You know, times all these different units." And he says, "I'm
Right.
good." You know, he says it don't mean I'm not going to fight for my little bit that I'm supposed to get from the person because that's their responsibility. But he's like, he's like, just I'm taking what I can from the government.
Yeah.
It's legal and it's providing clean housing to to people.
Yeah, they set it up that way. I mean, they set every system up for failure. They really do.
And I asked him. I asked him my message. Put a question. I said, "Do you have problems with people not, you know, following the rules?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Every once in a while, I have some people that mess up." He said, "But you know what? Once they mess up and you get in the Section 8 is notified that you have begun eviction proceedings," he says they lose all future money. They are blackballed.
Yeah, it's a whole racket.
You just weren't doing it right, Anissa. You need to find you some strippers to go and rent from you because they pay in cash.
Sweaty $1 bill.
Sweaty $1 bills, as Rose says. My neighbors owns a house beside us. That's a renter. They rented a house for like 5 years to a stripper, and he should say, "When can you stop by the house and I'll pay you?" And he said they get $1,300 in ones, fives, tens, 20s, sometimes 50s. I said, "What did you do with it?" He said, "We took it to the bank and deposited it. It's money." But he would. He said, like on the fifth of the month, he is stopping by her house, and she'd hand him a big old envelope, and he'd count it out. I said, "That's a lot of ones." He said, "That girl was in the $5 and $10 market. She was not in the $1 market."
Right. That probably wouldn't go over very well in my house.
You got to make a living the best way. You got to use your assets to make a living. You know that's what it is.
Shake it while you got it.
No, she didn't. He didn't allow anything like that going on. And see, but the reason I said that was because he said, it's hard to uh, find somebody that'll rent to you when you're in a cash business. I guess not. But he's also the one. She had a guy move in with her, unknowingly to them, which led for her being evicted. Uh, and he was wanted by the law, and the law chased him. And my neighbors, they got a phone call from their friend and said, "Hey man, your house is on TV." And Joe's like, "What? Your house is on TV? The helicopter's flying over it." And so he went online, and apparently they were wanting this guy for robbery and everything else, and they ended up kicking in the front door. But his the helicopter from Chopper 9, it was flying over it, circling and shooting down on it. And Tammy, that's Joe's wife, she said, "We're sitting there looking at our house. We're worried that our house is just going to get demolished." And she says, and Joe all of a sudden says, "Well, at least the new roof looks good." They spent like $10,000 on having a roof put on that house. He said, "At least the new roof looks good." Yeah, I wonder. And this knows a lot about that stripper stuff. Was that a previous job opportunity for you?
Hmm.
Can you hear all that noise in the background?
Yeah. Well, at times it comes up.
They're doing something outside. I'm probably going to get off of here. I don't want
That's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, it just pops up every once in a while. We're not worried about it because we're going to only be
to.
here
Okay.
not too much longer.
Well, if it gets too bad, let me know.
Yeah, but you know what? Those people that own those places make a lot of daggone money. It's not something I would want my daughter or my wife to go into.
No. But
If anybody in the chat knows who Medea is, she used to be a pole dancer when she was young. You know who Medea is?
Yes.
She is actually Tyler Perry. It's one of his characters, and he's like 6'7" or something like that. Oh, apparently, and this has got a history. Yeah. Um, so, you got anything big on your plans today besides trying to get a few things done around there, Larry?
Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff I got to get. He's coming home for the weekend from Florida.
Is he getting ready to move back in for the summer?
No, just the weekend. He's coming home for his grandson's birthday.
Oh, okay.
Um, Try to take care of a little bit of business and then head right back out.
Got to make sure everything's cleaned up for the boss. Is he flying in on his plane?
Yeah, no, he don't have a plane, but he is flying in. Yeah, everything's on par. I mean, everything's ready to be open for the summer. We're trying to find one of them. Every year he has some big parties at his house, and he rents one of them stages, that comes out on a trailer, and they fold it out, and the
Right.
top pops off, and they're like $3,000 to rent. So he's trying to buy one somewhere, but I haven't located one yet.
Uh, dang it.
It's yeah. I was just thinking that fancy Reba fishing picker.
Yeah, good song.
It's man, he must throw some big digs out there if he's got to have a stage that big.
Yeah, he hires professional bands.
Wow. What you have all this like his people his vent and people that buy from him out there.
Yeah, customers, friends, family.
Todd needs to get off some of
It's
his
a good
money.
time.
Todd needs to get off some of his money and have a party like that. He can get.
Yeah,
If anybody needs any like smoke for their act, he can crank up his lawnmower.
I've already
right.
tried, but I couldn't convince Anissa to do a pole dance.
And Todd, you
Yeah,
got
he hires people to come
you
out
did,
and cook a hog once a year.
yeah. Todd, you getting ready to get suited up to go deal with your girlfriends?
Yeah, it's Battle of the Lutherans Day.
What's
He
your
always
weather like, Todd? What's y'all's weather like?
It's kind of a warm spring day.
Nice. I can't wait.
71 going to a high of 83.
wow.
That's awesome.
That is not spring. That's full blown summer there.
Oh no, no. Full blown summer is 100-degree high.
I'll take it.
Todd's always talking about how to go in there and do battle with them old ladies. He goes in there and gives them a little sugar and sweet talks them a little bit, and they just fawn over him. And it's
Mm-hmm.
and this says it's not snowing. She's happy. Rainy and cloudy, but not snowing.
Yeah, it's about time for James to get going here. I think he does a lot of pressure washing and outside exterior housework and stuff like that.
I know it's sad, but I like to watch the guy that does the pressure washing on YouTube.
Oh, I bought a new pressure washer last year. Well, I sent Todd some pictures of it. I got about half my house done. So the top half is dirty. Any place that needs a ladder is dirty still.
Roberta, I probably mentioned it before. Went to the back of the house and I heard water running, and I thought, oh my God, we've got a break in the line somewhere. And I go in there, Roberta's sitting on the bed with her laptop, and she's playing a game called Pressure Washer. It's a
Oh yeah,
simulator, and the whole
yeah.
game is about pressure washing things. And she says it's therapeutic.
I can see where it will be. Yeah, I
But
don't mind. I guess it probably would become a little bit not therapeutic after about 5 days in a row or something. But
well, they only have so many, and then you got to wait for a new release to come in. Because she was like, "Oh, pressure washer's got a new
Expansion.
expansion." Yeah, thank you. An expansion coming out, and I'm like, "Okay, I won't see you tonight then." No, I don't do limos. If I could afford a driver, they could drive me around in my little Outlook. Because I don't like to drive, as I've said as many times. Yeah, some things like that, Anissa says she likes to scrape paint. It's therapeutic. You know,
yeah,
sometimes doing something, it's called letting your mind go into neutral and not just kind of chilling. That's like pushing a lawnmower. You get out there and your mind can wander, and you just as long as you don't cut down the flowers or whatnot. But um,
yeah. I enjoy that stuff. I've never hired anybody to do my lawn.
that an Outlook is the Saturn version of General Motors is like Chevrolet and GM's midsize SUV. It's about the size of a Ford um, Explorer.
Oh, you
It's
don't like mowing the lawn, Jimmy? I enjoy it.
Yeah, but you're out there on a deck out lawnmower that's got what, a 70-inch mower deck on it.
No, well, I don't cut his, but I cut my own. He hires his out. He's got 18 acres, but I cut my. I got a rider for the back, but I push the front. I've only got a little over half an acre.
My next door neighbor, before they moved, they sold their house while the prices were at the top of the game. He had it's a cream and yellow tractor. I don't know what brand. I don't remember what brand it was. But he would get out there. It had a 42-inch mower deck on it. He he came over and said one day, he said, "I'm gonna cut your yard." And I'm like, "Why is that?" He said, "Because with that 42-inch mower deck, I can't even drink one beer before I have my whole yard done." So he would start in his yard and just cut all the way across both lots and then go back and forth. He said, with that old one I had, it'd take me at least 2 beers just to cut my grass. But he had a
Yeah,
he
mine's
had
a 42 inch
he had one
Husqvarna.
he had one of those snapper, long riding lawnmowers. I don't know what,
Yeah.
24, 30-inch deck on them.
Mm-hmm.
But he Roberta said, "Why is um, Herman cutting our grass?" And I said, "Because he wants to drink a couple of beers." Because he had him a little bag on the side of his lawnmower he could put 2 beers in. And
Right. Is Snapper still in business? I don't see them lawnmowers being around much.
I don't know.
Or did they rebrand themselves or something?
I
They used to be like top of the line.
Yeah, I think they were rebranded. But it's you know, you go out in the country and you see these, especially going down the interstate. You see these guys with the what do you call them? The mowers behind the tractor. Bush hog. You know, it's got like
Oh
three.
yeah,
It's got three bush hogs. There's one in the middle, and it must be 8 feet wide, and then there's two on the one on each side that kind of tilts up. So you
yeah,
have, you're cutting a 30-foot swath down through there.
right.
That is the kind of lawnmower you have. But Toro is not a snapper. Yeah, my dad
Yeah,
always
I
had.
haven't either.
My dad always had the Sears lawn tractors with all the attachments and all that kind of crap.
Yeah,
And he didn't get that till all of us moved out. Before then, we cut grass with a push mower. I take that back. He bought the tractor, but he didn't get a mower deck because he only used it to plant his garden, and he had like a half-acre garden. Then after we moved out, he got the mower deck for it. Otherwise, my brothers and I,
yeah.
we pushed a dadgum lawnmower.
Oh, they do fish. I didn't know. Yeah, I used to always find my lawnmowers on the curb of the street or something. People just throw them away back in the day. You know, break the pull cord on it or something, and they set it out on the curb.
Well, Herman next door, that's what he did. He had a small business, a small engine repair business. He said it's cheaper. It was got to the point where it was cheaper for people with these nice weed eaters and stuff like that to just go buy a new one than it was to have it fixed because the parts got so expensive.
Right.
Yep.
But it's yeah, free labor. That's it.
Todd's hand, Todd's hand is getting antsy. He must be needing to go.
Did you get a
uh, so yeah, looks like Jenny's getting another ear infection, so got to go
Oh,
to
that
the vet
sucks.
and spend $170. But
you,
anyway,
you got an appointment for?
yeah, we're getting one.
And Jenny is his puppy.
It's my princess.
I know what you mean. I don't know where her Grace is at. She's probably in my chair of sleep.
Yeah, John, I'll take a shower and that's about it. Brush my teeth.
Take the skunk with you, and you'll be the only one there in the line.
Yeah, I forgot who. Poor Gwen. I was talking to a friend of mine recently on through chat, and he's a school teacher, and I was telling him about Gwen getting sent home, and he said, "I would have died," and I said, "Bruce, I know you would have died," and he said, I discreetly tell these boys, I said, you really need to take a bath. He said, to have the principal say, uh, you need to go home for a couple of days. He said, I would have died.
Yeah, I mean, once you're just inundated with that skunk smell, once you get it
Oh, it's
washed,
over. Yeah.
once you get it washed off real good, you kind of become desensitized a little bit.
What was Austin trying to sell us?
So you don't still know that you smell like that.
Yeah, it lingers forever.
You know, we get these phone calls, and it's from like Jolene and Austin and, you know, Maggie. And as soon as you say hello, it starts a automated thing about, we're contacting all our Comcast customers, and we don't use Comcast, of course.
I
You
get
know,
a letter in the mail every other day about refinancing my house from the people that I'm already financed with.
I get emails every day.
I just want to call them up and tell them how stupid they are. You know, I'm locked in at 2.25. They want me to refinance for like six. I mean, what's wrong with people?
They're scared that you're
And I
going to go
imagine
someplace else. That's got to be the thing. They're scared you're going to refinance with someone else.
yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to refinance, pay the fees, pay the closing costs and all that, and raise my payment probably $300 or $400. I mean, I guess there are people that do it, but why bother sending that letter out?
Uh, because it doesn't cost anything very much to send it out. It's all done. You know, you can hire companies that will print the letter, stuff it, and put your bulk rate mailing label on the outside of it. If they would
I guess,
raise
yeah.
if they would raise that, I'm sure it's so much per thousand. If they would raise it, $20 per thousand, it would stop some of that crap.
Oh, that's what they want, lad, but they
I
got the
bet
wrong guy.
I bet these casinos have sent us more junk mail, enough to pay for like 2 or 3 trips to the casino.
Yeah, but see what they do is they're hoping that they'll get the right sucker to come out there and drop enough money that they pay for a whole year of mailing out that junk mail.
Well, yeah, you spend your $10 coupon and then you spend $200 on top of it.
Yeah, back when it was one of the big casinos. I don't remember which one it was. We used to get stuff out. I used to get stuff. I mean, this was a long time ago. Get free 4 days and $1,000 in chips for $500 or something like that. Or it was 250. It was really not very much. But the damn airfare from Charlotte to Las Vegas was $800 a person. You never fly out of Charlotte if you can
Yeah,
because
you're right, Jan.
Charlotte's airfares are higher than people can fly from Greensboro through Charlotte to Las Vegas cheaper than I can buy a ticket from Las Vegas. I mean from Charlotte to Las Vegas. So people were buying
Right.
tickets and driving all the way to Greensboro, which is a couple hours away,
And then flying.
then flying.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
makes sense, I guess.
it's ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, I got
Did
those things for years, and I think that casino is now where the place is that's got the fountains.
oh, what is that? Caesar's Palace, is it?
I don't remember. It's been so long since I've been out there. Oh, we stayed at the Luxor when we were out there because I have this whole Egyptian thing going.
Bellagio, that's it. Julie said it. Bellagio.
Yeah, that's it.
I stay downtown I used to. Or we stay downtown usually when we're going in September, but I don't know where we're staying yet. We'll stay on the strip somewhere, but we used
Right.
to stay downtown, but it kind of got downtown Vegas ain't what it used to be. You know where the Golden Nugget is and
Yeah.
Binions and all them used to be there.
Yeah, it's supposed to be bad back there. You got to carry a security team with you when you go. Resale King, are you in
Yeah.
North Carolina? Or the close to?
So did the Fed raise the rate? They did, didn't they?
Yep. Another 25 basis point.
Or was it a point? Was it a quarter?
Yep. Yep. It is.
Oh, you in Goldsboro? Cool.
They're not going to fix inflation until the government quits overspending.
And that ain't gonna happen.
Exactly.
So
It's
there you go.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, y'all need to bank your bucks because if you want a house, I'm telling you, by this time next year, you'll be able to buy some deals on some houses. Because there's a lot of houses being built, and I don't think people are going to be. I don't think people are going to
Yeah,
get
you can get
these
a.
high interest rates.
Yeah, the problem is it's one or the other. It's a high interest rate and a lot of house for the money, or a
Yeah.
little house for the money and a low interest. I mean, it never works out where you get the same. You know.
Well, if you got it, like I told my sons, if you got a good down, you got a down payment to get the price of the house down, then the interest rate. Yes, it makes a difference, but if it's all coming out in the wash, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think it's a terrible time right this second for a younger person to buy a house. I really don't, because one of two things is going to happen. They're either going to be locked in at a decent rate if it goes up to 8, 9, 10% or more, or
right.
it's going to go down and they can always refinance. I mean, so I don't think it's a terrible time to buy a house, but I can't see selling a house if you're locked in at like me 2% or something, and then it's just silly to do something. Because I was going to sell my house right before all this crap hit the fan.
It's they just basically they reevaluated the tax bracket here in Mecklenburg County, and it's now some people have gone 30 to 50% in the valuation gone up, which means they're getting hit with a
Yeah.
pretty big tax bill. 6 and 7% interest rates is not nuts. I remember
No, it's
13,
not.
14, 15, 16% interest rates on a house.
Yeah, 16 to 18%. Yep.
I mean, my dad was surveyor, and he was surveying, trying to make a living during that period of time. People were not. People were. They had to be desperate to have a lot of cash on hand to buy a house during that period, and there was a lot of realtors that was you would see waiting tables in restaurants and stuff, trying to keep food on the table.
Yep.
Right.
Um, they
Well,
it
the
was
house the house across the street from me went up for sale last week. They had the open house on Saturday, the first time that and it sold in 3 hours.
wow. Was it a good deal, or just a good house for the money, or just people desperate for homes?
No, it's the same exact house as I live in. It's actually a little bit smaller because my bedroom goes clear over my garage, and theirs only goes halfway over.
Right.
It's their house is a couple hundred square feet smaller. Uh, and we paid 230 for our house 7 years ago, and they just sold their house for 330
Mm.
in 4 hours.
Our the couple that's renting the house beside us, they sold their house back when the price of houses were real high. They moved in, they rented this house. They've lived over there almost 2 years. Well, they're in the process of building a house themselves, and they were telling me that they will still have made money at the end of it because they're just about paying for the new house off of what they sold the old house for because they were overinflated. Prices were inflated even after
Right,
paying 2 years of rent at about
right, right.
100 a month. So
Yeah, that might be true, Fish. I haven't really looked into it. You're probably correct. I'm not. I'm not saying I couldn't, but I
I'm
just don't. I don't need.
I
I
was
don't need
thinking
to
they
do
got
that
rid of
right
that.
now.
I was thinking they got rid of that clause a long time ago. Because if you're a mortgage holder, would you want Mr. Sadie to sell his house and somebody assume the mortgage on it at 2.5%? I mean,
I don't think there's very many assumable loans anymore.
yeah,
Assumable mortgage houses anymore. I bought one like that in the 80s. I don't think you can get those kind of loans or houses or loans on houses anymore.
Well, you know,
Like a balloon loan.
No, just it's like you pay so much money and the balance on their mortgage, you just assume it. You take over what they
Oh, I
were
see what.
paying.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
now there is a
I think.
qualification. There is a qualification clause in there. You have to qualify, unless it was a HUD, an FHA assumable. Then you didn't have to. You didn't have to qualify.
Back in the '08 crisis, my niece lost her house. You know, her payment went from like 700 a month to like 1,700 a month
Wow.
because she had a balloon note. And I tell you, I tell everybody I know, if you're going to buy a house, get a fixed rate because
Right.
you just never know, and you can always refinance if things drop out. You know, the floor falls out of it or something.
We had a big thing around here was we had so many track housing companies coming in here building houses, and of course they're doing their own financing and all that kind of stuff. And their interest rates were high because they were, the credit wasn't that good. Well, then
Well, now,
in '08, when the economy went to pot, people were losing their houses because they couldn't make the payments and whatnot. And it was like, well, all these companies scalped these people. They ripped them off and they overinflated everything and whatnot. But then again, there was people that was writing editorials that says, I have, because there'd be like an article about a whole subdivision that, 70% of the people are going belly up in it. And the people were saying, well, we knew that this was not a good deal when we bought it, but our thoughts was we were going to get everything under control, and within 2 years we were going to refinance it. So they didn't buy the big screen TVs, and they didn't buy all the new automobiles and all this kind of stuff, and they banked their money, got all their financials in order, and then they went and bought. They refinanced the house and at a lower rate, and they were good. And they said that's what most people should have done, was thought that this is just a short-term financing. It's getting us into a house, because that family said that there was no way they could buy a house if they hadn't have gone with the higher interest rate. And
right.
but they had a long, the lady said she and her husband had had talked about it and figured out a plan, and they just lived by their plan, and they refinanced it, and they still have their house while everybody around them's being moved out.
Right. Look around me, Craig. Misery loves company. That's how I ended up on here.
Yeah, he's that poker player. You been playing any, or are you still on hiatus?
No, I've been playing. I ain't been done. Yeah, I've been winning a little bit of money here and there, but nothing to brag about. Here and there, I lose some, I win some. I lose some, I win some.
I lose some, I lose some, I lose some, I win some. I lose some, I lose some, I lose some, I lose some.
I've been doing better in the smaller tournaments, the little $6 tournaments.
If you don't get Todd's winning up there, Mr. Sadie, Gwen's going to send a couple of boys up there to have a talk to you about it, leading him astray down the life of a gambler.
I know, I definitely created a monster. I think the monster was already there. I just let him out of the bag,
Yeah. It's just I was already kind of a poker player, but
Yeah, it
I
gives us something to do.
I like
What
the
else you gonna
online
do?
forum.
This stuff, make money?
Yeah, I could spend $11 and play 4 hours of poker, or I could go to a golf course and spend $40 for 4 hours of golf.
$40. Where do you play golf at? In somebody's cow field?
Pretty much. That's our local course.
Because for $40, that won't even pay the greens fees around here.
Well,
Well, he's got to pay his caddy too.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, that's one of the most expensive sports, and if you really get into it, you go from the $159 set of golf clubs. you got to have you got to have the seven
That's
hundred
right.
dollar set of golf clubs to help you play better,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
then you max out on it, and you got to go up to the $3,000 sets.
and I can't hit straight with any of them.
Yeah. Or as Fish says, you can go into fishing and lose $20 lures in a tree.
Right. I've done that plenty of times.
I mean, that is serious. You can
Oh,
go, you can lose, you can lose a lot of money real fast like fishing. Well, guys, it's 10:18. My director over there just started giving me the cutoff sign. I guess she's got a phone call. So y'all have a great day. Y'all go over to Todd's show tomorrow.
yeah, it's going to be at least a fun beginning. I guarantee it. And
And
there's a possibility we might have a guest that everybody will want to see.
well,
Well, we kind of know where it's at right now, Todd.
Huh?
I said that we kind of know where you're at on that deal at the moment, anyway.
Yeah, we do.
JT already let the cat out of the bag. She says she found it.
she's going to spend that money just to make Valerie be on the show. But anyway,
Oh, it'll sell.
everybody have a great day. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with us, bunch of old dudes. And we'll see you on Todd's show tomorrow. Have a great day.
Yeah, everybody go to my
Thanks for
listing and
having me.
make a shill offer so that it looks
At least you can save face.
so the real buyers will pay up. All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Later.